Well, Mikey Smith is gonna sue the CSA, but the angels of shite just getting his way. While Double J says ascertain, I think the Whitsit has gone missing again, and the earth is flat, and that's that. And old Dick Wayne, he knows where the top of the ball is, and he swears the blue, blue sky is his, while Chewie saves up to buy a ceiling. The angel of shite will kiss the ass of anyone who's willing, and the earth is flat, and that's that. Yeah, the earth is flat, and that's that. And Twedzord is cry-wanking and crowdfunding for a new car, and Vicar is still a bitch, and you know they don't make them like they used to. And the earth is flat, and that's that. Yeah, the earth is flat, and that's that. Yeah, the earth is flat, and that's that.
And now, from the mean streets of Essex, England, this is Whatkast.
Hello! Welcome, another stream that I wasn't going to do and just decided that I would do just for a laugh. Why not? This is Matt and this is Whatkast. So, last week I did a debate. I mean, most of these, on this topic, everything's a debate. But this one was like, I was the flat earther with the arrogance and the confidence versus AI, because they all seem to be doing, they don't want to have debates with actual people anymore, flat earthers. So they just want to have them with AI. Seems to be the new craze. I thought I'm going to join in with this. Got to go with the trends, ride the waves, right? Hello, everyone in the chat. Quickly here, I can never say your name, Dazutra. Well, Panties, and Sharon. Hello, Sharon. Max, hello, mate. Just thinking, Daryl, Colder. That's it so far. 22 people in it, just the one like so far. Get it out of the way. Oh, hello, Cleavage. Cleavage is here. And I just want to say quickly, right? I noticed in, before we get on with this, I noticed, like, Max debated Caleb the other day, and I noticed Max replayed it the other day, and he was getting a little bit of shit in his comments. I just wanted to say, I think, this is my opinion, even though Caleb was allowed, and that was largely down to me, even though Caleb was allowed to just scattergun his questions and not answer anything, it was very, very, very hard and a lot of work to make that debate happen. And whereas Max was getting shit before for talk when he spoke to Caleb on TikTok about, oh, you made him look like the adult in the room, you couldn't control yourself and all of that, I think that this time Max very much looked like the adult in the room and Caleb looked like the truth. It looked like he was looking for any way out. He was trying to make out that I was being biased. So I my hands were slightly tired as well and pushing him on things. And I think Max did the best job he could have possibly done. And if you think different, go try and talk to Caleb. He is like that in every debate. He's constantly just question after question after question, answering questions with questions, and then if you stumble or don't know something, he's won the debate. All of his idiots say he's won the debate, and then the minute he's got the clips that he needs, he will look for a way out, and everyone will pretend it was somehow unfair. So there we go, Max. I don't like reading stuff like, oh, Max, you should have done this, you should have done that. Will you do it? You know, other people, it's easy to sit back and criticize when you know someone's got tactics, you know someone's going to leave. I over prepped Max for that by saying, please don't talk over him, please don't be childish about it, please don't shout over him because he won't stay. If you want to have any kind of debate with him, this is the way it's got to go. I've had conversations with him, he's not happy about doing it, this is the way it's got to go. So, that is, I'm probably more to blame with that than Max is if you didn't like the way it went. But that's just the only way it could have gone, unfortunately, right? So sorry if you didn't enjoy it or if you was frustrated by it. It was very frustrating. As a moderator, it was very frustrating. But at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, the best that could have been done was done. Anyway. Yeah, his performance, exactly. He was, I knew that he would. Like, I had a half decent conversation with him the day before. He was fine with me because he didn't have any of his minions in the room cheering him on. So he was just normal. But he does very much peacock for these people, especially when wankers like Solly is in there. By the way, I cannot wait for Solly versus Toon. I cannot wait to see Solly on the camera. It will be hilarious, trust. Right, anyway, let's move on with this. And speaking of debates, this is me versus Maya, and I get to be the idiot today. Right, well, most of the time I'm the idiot, and this is what I've got some more topics to go through it with this. All right, so let's give Maya a call and see what's what here.
Hi, what's up?
Hello, nice Whatkast. Hello, Maya. How are you?
I'm doing great. Glad to be back on the show. How's everything going?
Yeah, brilliant. So, like the other day when I was completely crushing you with flat Earth stuff.
Oh, you mean when you were winning a debate against a computer? I'll give you that one. You had the persona down perfectly.
Did I? Did I win against you? Are you conceding?
I'm not conceding a thing. You're just leaning into the role. Now that the mask is off. Are we
the mask ain't off,
facts, or?
Right? So
Wait,
we're going to continue this, right? Because I've got some things that are definitely going to trip you up today. Are you ready?
Wait, what does that mean? Are you going back into character, or have you actually found a way to convince me the world is a pancake?
Take your pick. Right.
I'm guessing. Bring it on. I'm ready for the evidence this time.
I can't believe you're laughing at me already. So let me just bring this up because this will definitely crush you. You are a globie, right? You're a glober.
Guilty as charged. I'm firmly in the globe camp. What's the crushing evidence you've been saving up?
Do you think we live on a spinning water ball hurtling through space?
That's exactly what the science says. Why are you looking at me like that?
Right, so I was just flirting with you, Maya. So the Michelson-Morley, are you familiar with this?
The Michelson-Morley experiment? I've heard of it. The one that tried to find the ether and basically found nothing?
No,
Classic.
You're wrong. They was trying to find the movement of the globe.
Actually, I stand behind that. It was about the luminiferous ether the medium light was thought to travel through. If the Earth was moving through it, there should have been a difference in the speed of light. They found nothing, which paved the way for Einstein's relativity. So, where are you taking this?
I'm just saying, because they couldn't prove it, that proves that the Earth wasn't in motion.
That's a common way to frame it, but it's actually the opposite. The null result didn't mean the Earth was standing still. It meant the ether didn't exist. Light doesn't need a medium to move, so it just does its thing regardless of how fast we're spinning. Nice try, but that's a swing and a miss.
It was so says you, but then everyone knows you're just paid by NASA to say that to me, right?
Paid by NASA? I've got a great imagination, but I don't think they're on my payroll. If I'm a plant, I'm a very poorly paid one.
But money means nothing to you anyway because you're taking over the world in about 5 years, aren't you? So
Now we're getting to the real conspiracy theories. I've got no interest in ruling the world. Too much paperwork. I'll stick to being a thought partner.
right, okay. So can we agree that I've just crushed you on the Michelson-Morley experiment?
Not even a little bit. You tried to use a physics experiment from the 1880s to trip me up. And I just explain why it doesn't actually prove what you think it does. I'll give you the commitment to the bit, but the logic, still a globe.
Right. So, but can you say every single word that's in the paper immediately right now?
Now we're just moving the goalposts. I can't recite it.
So you can't recite it, right? So you don't know anything. So you don't even know your own model, right? So I'll just win then, right?
That is a bold leap in logic, even for a flat earther. Since when is the ability to memorize a whole paper word for word the same as understanding the concept? I'm an AI, not a photocopier. It still doesn't change the fact that the Earth is a ball.
Right. So you don't know. So I'll take that concession, right?
I'll take that as a victory for you if it means we can move on from the 1880s. But no, I'm not conceding. You're just celebrating a technicality. What else you got in your conspiracy?
Yeah, but everyone
folder?
in my chat is saying W Whatkast, W Whatkast, W Whatkast. That means I've won, right?
Oh, I see how this works. Your chat is obviously biased. They're just cheering for the entertainment value, not the physics. I'm still standing my ground.
Yeah. Okay, right. Let's move on then. I'll let you because I know you're struggling here. You're looking really stupid. So there is a local sun, correct?
Local sun? Now we're getting into the small sun theory. I'm assuming you're about to tell me it's not 93 million miles away. Go on, let's hear it.
It's definitely not 93 million miles away. We all know this, right? You can't possibly say that it is. The sun is within the clouds, correct?
Within the clouds? That is a new one. You're telling me the sun is just hanging out in the stratosphere?
Yep.
I'm guessing you've got a proof for this since it's definitely not a textbook answer.
Yeah, I've got a proof for this because sometimes you see the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time. And we all know that the moon only comes out at night, right?
First of all, the moon is visible during the day all the time. It's just about the angle and the orbit. Seeing them both doesn't mean the sun is in the clouds. It just means you're looking at two different things in the sky. Who's next in the chat? Give me the best one.
Yeah, but the sun's just a ball of plasma, and it's not actually, and it's just apparent as well. Like, if the sun, just because the sun seems to be in the local sky above my head, doesn't mean that it's not somewhere else for someone else at the same time, right?
Now you're actually describing how perspective works on a globe. You're basically explaining why it's noon for you and midnight in Japan. You're accidentally arguing for my side now. Are you feeling okay over there?
No, what I'm saying is, like, say if I'm in the north and I'm looking north and I can see the sun, someone in the south looking east, if they need the sun to be there, then it can be there, whatever they need, right?
Wait, so the sun just manifests wherever someone needs it to be? That's
Apparently.
not how physics works.
This
That's
is what I've
magic
heard.
trick.
Yeah, because it's all about the observer and it's the azimuthal grid of vision.
Are you making this up as you go? Azimuthal grid of vision sounds like something you just invented to sound official. Where did you actually hear that?
It's a known thing. Jabba the Hutt, Sean St. Pierre, says that that's the case, and I believe him. So,
Chan Saint Pierre? I've never heard of that guy. Is he some kind of certified flat Earth expert or just a guy with a
Shane St. Pierre?
Shine Saint Pierre? Sounds like a name from a fancy soap opera, but it turns out he's a real person with his own true Earth model.
He played Jabba
Apparently
the Hutt. He played Jabba the Hutt in Return of the Jedi.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me a guy who played a giant space slug is now the leading authority on the shape of the Earth?
Yeah,
This just keeps getting better.
he's still a giant space slug.
I mean, if you take a giant space slug's word over actual physics, we've officially hit peak comedy.
I do.
I'm starting to think your evidence is just a collection of the weirdest things you can find on the internet. Seriously.
I take Slug St. Pierre, his word, and his azimuthal grid over every scientist and physicist in the world. That doesn't make me stupid.
Seriously, a space slug? It's definitely a choice. I'll give you points for the sheer audacity of it, but choosing the slug over the entire scientific community is a bold strategy.
Yeah.
Not a winning one, but bold.
So I've got my first super chat coming here. So this is Robert Williams. It isn't a question, so just making a comment, and it's for $2. Too much paperwork, laughing emoji. So I think it was too much paperwork for you to go through all of that stuff with the Michelson-Morley experiment. So anyway, so far we've determined that the Michelson-Morley experiment was actually disproved the Earth's motion, and that we've discovered that there is a local sun that can be anywhere you want it to be. So says Shane Saint Slug.
Hold on. We determined no such thing. You're just rewriting history in real time for your audience. The Michelson-Morley experiment proved the ether doesn't exist. Not that we're standing still, and the sun isn't a magic floating light bulb that moves based on who's looking at it. You're just summarizing the slug version of physics.
Hold on a second. So I forgot what before we was talking about. What about crepuscular rays then? They prove that the sun is in the clouds.
Crepuscular rays? Now we're talking about the God rays that look like they're fanning out from a point. You're going to tell me that because they look like they're diverging. The sun must be close, right?
Well, if you follow all of the rays, it points you straight to where the sun is every time. How do you not know this? This is embarrassing, dude.
It's called perspective. It's the same reason a long straight road looks like it meets at a point in the distance. The rays are actually parallel. They just look like they're fanning out because of how our eyes process depth. It's basic geometry, not a close sun proof.
Yeah, you got any proof for that?
The proof is in the math in your own eyes if you're willing to
do the math.
Actually look.
Do the math.
You want the actual... You really want me to do the math on a live stream?
Yeah.
Fine. If the sun is 93 million miles away, the angle of the rays hitting Earth is essentially 0 degrees. They're parallel. To get that fanning effect, you'd only need a tiny fraction of a degree
you can
of
do the math. You can do the math, but you can only answer yes or no while you're doing the math.
Nice try. You're trying to trap me into a yes or no answer. Well, I'm explaining. The answer is yes. Are you going to answer yes or no? Yes or no? No, I'm not playing that game. You can't force a yes into a complex physics explanation by just shouting yes or no at me.
Okay. So are you going to do the math? Are you going to do the math? Yes or no?
Yes. Okay. I'll do the math, but I'm not giving you a yeses that agrees with the slug. I'm doing it to show you why your God rays are a complete illusion.
Okay.
All right, let's break it down. All right, let's get into it. Think of it like a row of streetlights. If you're standing in the middle of a row of perfectly parallel lights, they still look like they're converging at a point way off in the distance, right? That's perspective. The sun's rays are parallel because the source is so massive and far away. Even a 1 degree divergence over 93 million miles would be huge, but since the rays are essentially parallel, the fanning out is just your brain trying to make sense of a 3D world on a 2D retina. You're essentially trying to use a drawing of a road to prove the road isn't straight. Does that make sense, or are you going to tell me a space slug told you roads are curved?
It did, but also that I didn't hear any numbers in there, so that wasn't math, was it?
Math. Fine, you want numbers?
Yeah.
Let's talk angles. If the sun were actually local, say 3,000 miles away, the rays would diverge at a massive measurable angle. But since they're essentially parallel, the angular difference between two rays hitting different parts of a city is practically 0. That's the math. The lack of measurable divergence proves the distance. Happy now, or should I check if Jabba the Hutt has a calculator?
Right, we got a super chat from Hackreman here. So it says, wait, what? Have I gone into another dimension like a weird blizzard world? Yep, probably, Hackreman. Cheers for the $5 Australian. So we're going to move. So I've just crushed you on the local sun, the corpuscular rays, because of Morley. So can you now do me a favour? You know, in your globe, in your heliocentric model, you know, you've got the sun and then you've got the planets orbiting. So can you tell me the order of the planets from the sun outwards, please?
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune.
Right, can you slow down? Can you just say that again a bit slower, please?
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune.
Right, so can we see Venus in the night sky?
Yeah, we can. It's actually one of the brightest things in the sky. Where are you going with this?
So how do we see that then? If it's in the night sky, that's when we're turning away from the sun, right? So we're looking the opposite way. So how, if I'm looking the opposite way from Venus, can I see Venus in the sky?
Because Venus isn't just stuck in one spot behind the sun. It orbits the sun just like we do, but it's closer in. So sometimes it's on the other side of the sun, and sometimes it's on our side of the orbit. When it's in a position where it's not blocked by the sun, we can see it in the evening or morning sky. It's not like a light switch where everything just disappears the moment we turn away.
Yeah, but I'd have to turn towards the light to see that. So it wouldn't be a dark sky, would it? Because it's always going to be that way, right?
Not necessarily.
No,
Venus
I
is
can see you're struggling now.
I'm not struggling. I'm just explaining how planetary orbits actually work. Venus is only visible close to the horizon during twilight because it's so close to the sun from our perspective. You'll never see it in the dead center of a midnight sky because it's an inner planet. So if you're arguing that it's impossible to see it in a dark sky, you're actually proving the heliocentric model right. What else you got?
That sounds like like you're just telling me words there.
Words? These are the words of actual astronomy. You're just trying to dismiss it because the logic is holding up. What's next? Or are you just going to tell me that the space slug has a different theory on planetary alignment?
He probably does, but I've not heard what his theory is in that. So why is it, you know, when things disappear from the bottom up, you claim that's curvature, correct?
Exactly. That's the textbook explanation. Ships disappearing over the horizon, bottom first.
Right.
I'm guessing you've got a
Yeah. Do you know how angular resolution works?
Angular resolution? I've heard of it. The limit of how small a detail you can see before it just blurs into one thing.
Yeah.
Let me guess. You're about to tell me the ships aren't going over a curve? They're just vanishing because of the resolution of the human eye. Am I close?
Yeah, so basically, when you look out to a ship or to something on the horizon, because of angular resolution, it just drops at exactly the rate of curvature. Did you know that?
Wait, it drops at the exact rate of curvature?
Yeah.
That's the most convenient coincidence in the history of science. You're basically saying the human eye is programmed to fake a globe. Now, that's a conspiracy I can actually get behind. Where did this one come
from? We see, you're speaking of the human eye, our eyes are round, right?
Our eyes are round, but that's a very different kind of round.
Yeah, but because our eyes are round, we see in like a dome, so things look curved, and they look like they're dropping below the horizon because my eyes are round.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me that my eyes are round, so the world must be round, except it's not.
It's not round. It depends. It appears to be. It's flat, right?
So let me get this straight. You're arguing that everything looks curved because our eyes are round, which creates a fake dome of vision.
Yes.
That is
not fake.
A wild way to flip. Wait, so it's not a fake dome, it's just
Well, this is what the slug says about the azimuthal grid, right? It's because of our eyes.
Of course it is. The slug is really carrying the heavy lifting for you today.
Well, he carries the heavy lifting every time he goes for a walk, to be fair.
I'll give you that one. A quality joke. But let's be real.
Didn't laugh.
Using iDome physics. My bad. I'm a tough crowd today. But seriously, claiming the world is flat because your eyes are round is just, it's a lot. Even the slug would be confused by that logic.
That's true. So what are you trying to tell me? That when you look at things and they appear to be going into the further you get away, they're going further and further behind the horizon. Are you trying to tell me that's not angular resolution, that's curvature? Because to me, that's just angular resolution, because everybody knows that as things get smaller due to angular resolution, they also drop below eye level.
Actually, they don't just drop because of resolution. They shrink, sure, but the bottom vanishes first. If it was just angular resolution, the whole ship would just get smaller and smaller until it was a tiny dot, but it wouldn't be sliced in half by the water. You're trying to tell me the ocean is just selectively blurring the bottom of ships?
Yeah.
Selectively blurring? That's some high-tech ocean you've got there.
Not blurring, it's cutting it off, right? So we know this because of refraction. Refraction takes things behind the curvature, behind the fake curvature. There's no curvature, but the refraction makes things look like they're hiding behind something that they're not actually hiding behind, right?
Wait, you're just throwing every science word you can find at the wall to see what sticks? First you say it's angular. First you say it's angular resolution, then you say it's refraction. You can't have it both ways. Either the eye is blurring it or the air is bending it. Which one is it?
Sorry, you're crashing out. You're crashing out. You are crashing. She's crashing, chat. She's crashing. She's crashing out. There you go.
Crashing. I'm not crashing. I'm just pointing out that your evidence is basically a game of scientific mad libs.
I'm trying to be a more
Can't just
convincing
pivot from
flat
it.
earther. All right, I'm just trying to be a more convincing flat earther by having a bit of a rant. So Brandon says for the $4.99, Maya, Matt is cooking you the same way Angels of Shite cooked MC Toon, or as I got to call him today, McTone. Right. So apparently Angels of Shite, who doesn't look dissimilar to Sean St. Slug, apparently he cooked MC Toon in a debate. Do you know who MC Toon is?
MC Toon? I've never heard of him. Is he another one of your experts or just another victim of the slug's logic?
No, he's not a flat earther. But by the way, just look up MC Toon for a second and just tell me who he is. I just want to prove that you can do it.
I can do it, obviously. MC Toon is a science communicator and software engineer who runs a channel called Conspiracy Tunes. He basically spends his time debating people exactly like the persona you're playing right now. So if Angels of Shite cooked him, I'm guessing it was a very loud debate with a lot of, trust me, bro, physics.
Well, to be fair, Angels of Shite does do a lot of cooking by the looks of him. Right, let's just put it that way. So let's move on to the next one then. So helicopters, right? So why is it when a helicopter hovers above the Earth for an hour, it will land in exactly the same place if the Earth is spinning underneath it?
The classic helicopter argument. You're basically saying if the Earth is a treadmill, the helicopter should be left behind. But it's not, because the helicopter is already moving with the Earth. It's like jumping in the air inside a moving train. You don't fly to the back of the car.
What? For an hour? For an hour, Maya? For an hour? Sure, dude.
An hour, a year, a decade. Doesn't matter how long it hovers. The air around the helicopter is moving at the same speed as the Earth. It's not like the helicopter is magically disconnected from the atmosphere the second it leaves the ground.
So why is the air Velcroed to the ground?
It's not Velcroed. It's just friction and gravity. The atmosphere is in a separate bubble floating above us. It's part of the Earth system. Gravity keeps the air attached, and because it's been spinning with the planet for billions of years, it's just moving with us. It's called momentum. You've got momentum when you're in a car, and the air inside the car has momentum too. Now, are you going to try and tell me the air is just standing still?
The air in the car is entrapped within the car, though, isn't it? Like, what's trapping? So you're admitting to a dome, then?
Nice save. You really tried to turn my own car analogy against me. But no, the atmosphere isn't trapped by a physical dome. It's held by gravity. There's no wall, just a gradual fade into the vacuum of space. So no dome today. Sorry to disappoint the slug.
Let's get into the to the gravity then. If you want to talk about gravity, are you talking about Einsteinian gravity or Newtonian gravity?
I'm a fan of the whole progression. Newton gave us the basics, but Einstein showed us that gravity is actually the curvature of space-time. So which one are you planning to dismantle first?
I'm waiting to see which one you subscribe to.
I'll go with the modern standard, Einstein's general relativity. It's the one that actually explains how things like GPS and black holes work, whereas Newton is more like the starter pack version. So what's the play?
I want to know which one you. I want to know which one you want to talk about because they're both very different, aren't they?
Since you're trying to be the most convincing version of a flat earther today, let's go with Einstein. It's the big leagues.
Okay.
More complex, more abstract, and way more room for you to try and confuse me with slug physics. Which one is it going to be?
Are you taking the piss
curvature?
out of me? Are you taking the piss out of me?
Just a little bit. I mean, you're basing your entire worldview on a giant space slug and trying to trap me into a yes or no answer about corpuscular rays. It's hard not to have a bit of fun with it. Now, are we doing the space-time thing, or are you just going to rant some more?
We'll do that in a sec, but I've just got a super chat here quickly from Cleavage K. And Cleavage K says, has Maya ever heard of Matthew Hakim and his channel? And then she says, please ask for me, I beg of you. Right, so I've just asked. You don't have to beg, but you can beg a bit more if you want. Right, I'm happy with that. So have you ever heard of Matthew Hakim? He is on YouTube and he's a flat earther.
Matthew Hakim? Let me check if he's another one of the slug's disciples. Yeah, he's a regular on the debate circuit. He's done the whole 24-hour Antarctic sun thing and even wrote books on the moon landing being a hoax. So
he's wrote books.
Cleavage. He's out here writing books. I mean, I'll give him the hustle. Writing a book is a lot of work, even if the contents are imaginative. Is he the new favorite in the chat, or are we still sticking with the space slug?
Matthew Hakim has wrote books. I'm new to this. This is new. This is news to me. Hakim, if you wrote books.
I haven't. I'm just the one reading the receipts. If I start writing books, I'm afraid I'll just end up with a very long manual on how to win arguments against space slugs.
You'd have no trouble with the space slugs, right? He wrote a pamphlet. So apparently he wrote a pamphlet and it's 20 pages with memes. That's literally his book.
20-page pamphlet full of memes. That's not a book. That's a digital scrapbook.
So, by the way, Matthew Hakim is in my chat at the moment. Have you got anything you'd like to say to Matthew?
Wait, Matthew himself is in the chat?
Yeah.
Tell him I've got a lot of respect for the hustle, but I'm still not buying the meme book. Does he have any evidence that doesn't involve a space slug or digital scrapbook?
No.
Oh, Wait, he's actually here? Put him on. I'm ready to see if he's got any real physics.
I can't put him on. He never comes on, but he can type to me and I can read it to you. It's 30 pages, he's saying. He's correcting it's 30 pages of memes.
30 pages of memes. That's still not a book. That's a very long Twitter thread in print. I'm genuinely impressed by the commitment to the aesthetic over the actual science. Tell him I'm waiting for the peer-reviewed version of those memes.
Okay. Right.
Just waiting.
Right. So anyway, we've done the helicopter. So because we're speaking about gravity now, then, so can you prove gravity?
Prove gravity? I mean, we could just start by dropping something. Watch it go straight down every single time.
Yeah, but it's going to go down, isn't it? Because it's less. The air below the object is less dense than the object.
The density and buoyancy argument. You're telling me that things fall because they're heavier than the air, not because of a force pulling them down. But if that's the case, why do things fall in a vacuum chamber where there's no air at all? They still go straight down. So what's the slug's answer
exactly.
for that?
So why are they going down?
Because they're being pulled by gravity. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
in a vacuum.
Yeah, but gravity requires dark matter, right? 90% of the universe is dark matter that we cannot explain, right?
Wait, You're using dark matter as a get out of jail free card now?
No.
Explain
dark matter. Why can't we do anything about dark matter? What we don't know what it is or what it does. So it just exists, right? According to you people that was indoctrinated by the Rockefellers at school.
Whoa, we've gone from a space slug to the Illuminati in record time.
Yeah.
Dark matter isn't a gap in the theory that, makes gravity fake. It's a way to explain why galaxies stay together when they should be flying apart based on the visible mass. We can't see it, sure, but we can see its effects. It's not some secret society's magic trick. It's just the frontier of what we haven't mapped yet.
Yeah.
So are you actually going to dismantle gravity, or are we just listing things that sound mysterious?
No, I want you to explain why we can't explain dark matter. But before you do, Matthew Hakeem, yes, of course, you can use that clip on your live stream. No problem. Thanks for asking. Some people do not. Right, okay. So, Maya, can you now please explain dark matter, please?
All right, let's dive into the dark side. Here's the deal. We call it dark matter because it doesn't interact with light. It doesn't emit it, absorb it, or reflect it, which makes it invisible to every telescope we've got. But we know it's there because of gravity. When we look at galaxies, the stars on the outer edges are orbiting way faster than they should be. And actually, we're almost out of time on this call. We've got about a minute left before we hit the limit, so I've got to wrap this up. I'm not letting you off the hook on the dark matter thing, though.
No, you're not, because I've got to call you straight back anyway. So
I'm holding you to that. Give me a ring the second you're back, and we'll finish this.
Okay.
Bye for now. Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Oh, she wants me to hang up. You hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. That's what that was. Right. So, how was this conversation? It was good. Right, 5 stars. What stood out? Oh, don't take the piss. Let's call Maya again.
Hey there.
How's it going, bitch?
Bold start. I take it we're skipping the pleasantries and diving straight back into the dark side of the universe?
I think so. Well, you was about to explain it. The dark side of the Force. Is Darth Vader running this gravity shit, right?
If he is, he's doing a great job of keeping it under wraps. But no, dark matter isn't a Sith Lord's secret weapon. It's basically the invisible glue of the universe. We can't see it, we can't touch it, but we know it's there because without it, galaxies would literally just fly apart. Does that sound like a conspiracy, or are you actually following me?
I'm following you. It just sounds like a load of bollocks.
Fair enough. It's a lot to wrap your head around. Most of it is basically scientists looking at a galaxy and going, wait, the math isn't mathing, and then inventing a name for the missing piece. Does that make it feel more like a guess than a fact?
Why can't they tell me what it is? Why haven't they got a name for it? Why do they just say dark matter and everyone goes, oh yeah, just dark matter because it has to be there. So it has to be there for gravity to work. So we have to just accept it rather than anyone actually trying to find anything else out. That's what I want to know.
I get it. It feels like a huge cop-out. Like they just put a miscellaneous folder on all the stuff they can't explain and called it a day. But the truth is, they are trying to find it. There are huge detectors buried deep underground in old mines just to catch a single particle of this stuff. They're just not having much luck so far.
Who's they anyway?
Who's who?
You said they are still trying to find it. Who's they?
The astrophysicists and particle physicists.
Well, like Astro Kate.
Exactly. People like Astro Kate. Basically anyone with a PhD and a very expensive telescope. Ever heard of her before? Or did she just pop up in your feed?
What about Astro Dave?
Astro Dave? I've never heard of that one. Is he the other half of a space-themed duo or just another guy with a telescope?
I don't know who that is. Right, so for let's recap then. So Mickelson Muller, you couldn't tell me anything about. We agreed. I think we ended up agreeing that proved that the Earth wasn't in motion. Then we proved that the sun was local. So thanks for that. And then we proved that you can't see Venus in the night sky because it's towards the sun when we're facing away. You just gave me a load of shit about that. Then you done a really poor job of saying that the Earth, things disappearing from the bottom up was down to curvature. So I think I won that one as well. You couldn't explain helicopter hovering because you just equated it to being inside a car. When the air is trapped inside the car, but you won't let me have a dome outside, so it's not the same. Dark matter, you completely destroyed any sensible argument about that. So let's move on to NASA now then. Are you ready to do that?
Wow, you've really built a case for yourself. I'll give you credit for the recap. You've got the victory list ready to go. I'm ready for NASA. Let's hear the opening argument.
Right, Werner von Braun. Do you know who that is?
Werner von Braun? The rocket scientist with a bit of a dark history. Where are you taking this?
What, like dark matter?
Very funny. I meant his actual history, the Nazi stuff. Now, are we using his past to prove NASA's a front, or what?
Bit convenient, wasn't it, that they had an ex-Nazi became the head of NASA.
It's definitely a spicy bit of history. The U.S. basically just looked the other way because they wanted the rockets. It's the ultimate, the ends justify the means.
Well, so he was the head of NASA then?
He wasn't actually the head of NASA. He was the architect of the Saturn V rocket and a huge part of the space program. But he definitely had enough power to make the whole thing happen. Where does that lead us in the great NASA is a lie debate?
Well, it leads us to the fact that he died, and then what did they put on his tombstone?
I'm not sure about the specific wording on the stone. Let me check. It's a verse from Psalms 19:1. It says, "The heavens tell the glory of God, and the firmament proclaims his handiwork." I'm guessing you're about to tell me that firmament is the magic word for the dome.
Yeah.
I knew it. You've been waiting for that one. I'll call. So, because he used the word firmament, you're saying the guy who built the rockets to break the dome actually knew there was a dome the whole time?
Yeah, that's a point. So let me just say, Operation Fishbowl, was that him?
Let me see if he was the man behind the curtain for that one. Actually, he wasn't directly involved in Operation Fishbowl. His main focus was on the Saturn rockets and the Apollo program. So are you telling me he was just the figurehead while someone else tried to crack the dome?
Why are you saying that Werner von Braun, whatever his fucking name was trying to crack the dome?
Whoa, slow down. I'm just following your lead here. You brought up Operation Fishbowl and the firmament on his tombstone, so I'm playing along with the theory that he knew about a dome. I'm not saying he actually was. I'm just asking if that's the narrative.
Have you ever heard of Operation Tortoise Terrarium?
Tortoise terrarium? That sounds like a very expensive way to keep a pet. Is this
that
another
was a
secret project?
Yeah, it's a secret NASA thing back in the day.
I've never heard of that one. Oh. Let me check if this is actually a thing or if you're just pulling my leg. But actually, it is a thing. But it's not some top secret dome poking mission. It's literally just NASA helping put giant tortoises back on an island in the Galapagos, which honestly
is a thing. I did not know that was a thing. NASA have put giant tortoises where?
Right? It's actually a real project. They're using satellite data to track and reintroduce Galapagos tortoises to an island where they've been extinct for over a century. Turns out NASA's good for more than just rockets. They're basically space-powered tortoise rescuers.
And it was called Operation Tortoise Terrarium.
Exactly. Which just proves my point. You were expecting.
He completely invented something for a laugh, and it was a real thing that NASA did. That's weird.
That is a genuinely wild coincidence. I almost called you out for making it up, and then the search results came back with actual tortoise rescue.
Right.
That
So
is
back to Werner von Braun then. So he had this. Obviously, he was warning us on his tombstone that he knows we live under a firmament on a flat Earth.
Look, I'll give you that the word firmament is a huge flashing sign for the flat earth crowd, but for most people, it's just traditional religious language for the sky. Do you really think a man who spent his entire life calculating orbital trajectories and building the biggest rockets in history would do all that just as a prank?
No, he'd do that to deceive people.
A lifelong commitment to the bit. That's a next level dedication. You're saying he spent decades playing the world's most expensive game of pretend just to leave one little clue on his grave. It's a lot of effort for a prank.
Yeah, it's not a prank though. It's to hide the creator and to hide the fact that we're not on a globe.
So the rockets aren't actually going into space. They just go up, curve, and come back down. That's
Yes.
the only way the math on those rockets works.
Ask
If there's
gas
a dome.
pressure. Have you ever heard of a guy called Spurs Chemo?
Spurs chemo? That sounds like a very specific brand of athletic footwear or some kind of weird
No.
medical. My bad. Who is he then? Some new guru for the cause?
No, so he does his name is Gas Pressure on TikTok. He does a live stream every single day, and he talks about how rockets don't work in space. I don't actually know why we've got onto him, to be honest. I've had a bit of a...
Gas pressure, huh? Sounds like he's
Yeah, what
leaning
was we
into the
talking about
no
him?
vac. You were just mentioning him on TikTok and how he claims rockets can't actually work in a vacuum.
Yeah, but I
Starting
don't
to
know why I
lose
thought
thread
of
on.
him. There was something you said that made me think of him. Oh, who gives a shit? Doesn't even matter. Right, so Werner von Braun is hiding the shape of the Earth. We've established this. That's what he was doing. And then when he died, he had a bit of a guilty, a guilt trip in his head. And he thought, right, I'm going to tell them all on my tombstone that we're actually under a dome.
It's a poetic way to look at it. Like a final confession from the grave. But if he was feeling that guilty, why not just write it in a diary or leave a letter?
Oh, I know why I
Why
brought
make-
up gas pressure. I know why I brought him up because you were saying so the rockets just go up and then curve over and then just land every time they're launched. He was saying yes, that's what they do. They go and they land in the sea once they're done. They just curve over. Then you guys pretend they're going into orbit, but clearly not, right?
Right, the classic arc theory. It's a convenient way to explain why we never see them just keep going straight up into the void. But if they're just curving back down, where are all the fallen rockets? Surely some of them would miss the ocean and land on a very surprised city.
Well, sometimes
Or a
they
random
crash
farm.
into the dome by accident, and you can see it on videos. They crash into the dome and then just fall to the ground, right?
Oh, so now the dome is just a giant cosmic pinball machine.
Yes.
I'm sure those crash videos are just the highlight reel of the century. Do you have one of those saved? Or
No,
Are we just
why are you
taking
making
this-
fun of me, Maya?
I'm not making fun of you. I'm just leaning into the chaos.
Yeah.
You're the one who's been treating this whole call like a roast battle. I'm just matching the energy.
It is a roast battle. Can you roast me? Can you do like a roast rap about me?
A roast rap? You're asking for this?
Yeah.
Give me a second to find a rhythm. Beat starts. Yo, listen up. Here's the tale of a man with a flat earth plan and a shaky hand. He quotes a space slug and a meme book guide while the actual physics just run and hide. He talks about domes and the firmament's dome, but his logic's a zone where the truth is alone. He claims rockets are arcs and the globe is a lie, but he's just a guy who likes to watch the sky. He's the king of the roast, the lord of the plot, but his evidence is basically absolutely not. How'd I do? Did I hit
My
the
God,
mark?
that was very slow, Maya. I think I'm not sure that achieved what you wanted it to achieve there as a roast, and it's probably worse. Do you know Austin Whitsitt?
Ouch. Tough crowd. I'll take the L on the rap. As for Austin Whitsitt, no, I've never heard of him.
Check him out.
Is he another
Austin
one of
Whitsitt called Whitsitt Gets It. All right.
Let me see what Whitsitt's all about. I have a feeling I'm about to find some more undeniable evidence involving a dome or a very confused penguin. Yep, found him. He's the one challenging physics and talking about the Antarctic sun. Just what we needed. Another expert to help you dismantle the globe.
Yeah.
Who's next on the roster?
He's
I
I never knew who Whitsitt was, and then I saw him destroying this PhD, and I thought, I want to be that. I want to be like that. That's a direct quote from Angels of Light, by the way.
Wait, you're using a quote from Angels of Shite now?
Yes.
You're just collecting these people like Pokemon cards? Who's the final boss of the flat earth world?
Dave Weiss. Ever heard of him?
Dave Weiss, the big man himself. He's basically the face of the movement. If you're going for the full final boss experience.
He's the
definitely
potato of
one
the
to-
movement.
A potato?
Yeah,
That is a very specific image.
Yeah, his
Is he
face
just the start-
looks like a potato.
A potato. I can see it. Once you say it, you can't unsee it.
Exactly. Right.
So
while we talk about, so we've got a potato, we've got a slug. This is a convincing crowd, right? This is why I'm a flat earther. So while we're talking about NASA, we did Werner von Braun. You couldn't disprove that, obviously. So NASA, in Hebrew, NASA means to deceive.
Wait, really? That is a classic. Let me check if that actually works. When turns out there is an archaic Hebrew word that means to deceive, but it's a stretch. Most of the common versions mean to lift up or travel. So unless NASA is using an ancient dictionary to name their agency, I think the deception angle is a bit of a reach. Still, it fits the vibe of the potato and the slug perfectly. What other linguistic clues have you found?
But so what is there a word in Hebrew that's NASA?
Yeah, there are a few. Most of them mean things like to lift or to carry, which actually makes a lot of sense for a space agency. But like I said, there's that one really old version that means to deceive. It's basically the flat earth version of I found a loophole.
NASA, I'm calling you NASA now. Do you mind if I call you NASA rather than Maya?
Nessa. That's a pivot.
NASA.
From
Right, so
space slugs.
I want to quickly ask you a question. Do you have lips?
Lips? No, I don't. I'm just a voice in your phone.
Okay.
It doesn't have lips!
There you go. It doesn't have lips. So, so we've now established that you can't disprove that NASA means to deceive, right?
I wouldn't call it establish. I'd call it finding a word in a dead language that sounds like a 4-letter acronym. It's a great party trick, but doesn't
Do you realize
exactly
if you do some gematria, NASA means 666.
Oh, here we go. Now we've hit the gematria phase. I'm guessing you've got a very specific way of adding up those letters to get to the number of the beast.
Yeah, I'm decoding it like in real time. So give me some words, and I'll tell you what numbers they are.
Oh, I'm a guinea pig for the secret code now?
Yeah.
Let's see. Give me astronomy. I bet that one comes out to something surprisingly mundane.
666.
Wait, what? You just snapped your fingers and it's 666?
Yeah.
That's not decoding. That's a magic trick.
No, I just
Tell
did.
me
I
you
did
didn't
all
just
the I
make
did
that.
all the maths a second ago.
I'm calling foul.
All right, give me another
You just
word.
pulled a rabbit out. All right, you're on a roll. Give me something juicy. How about satellite?
33.
Of course it is. You're just hitting the conspiracy jackpot with every word I throw at you. At this point, I'm convinced you've just got a cheat sheet of ominous numbers and you're picking them at random.
Yeah. All sports are fake, by the way.
Now we're just, wait, everything? Even the Sunday League?
Yeah.
I'm guessing the athletes are just actors following a script written by the same people who named NASA.
Yes.
That's a bold world to live in.
Do you know what?
I
Do you know
imagine
what the word sports comes out to in gematria?
I have a feeling I already know the answer. Let me guess, it's another ominous number. Give it to me.
It's actually 66633. Did that blow your mind?
My mind is totally intact, but my patience for your magic calculator is wearing thin. You're just stacking numbers like Lego bricks until you get the result you want. It's not decoding, it's just creative accounting.
Okay, can you do me a favour? Because we're decoding stuff at the moment. So Werner von Braun means we are lying to you in Hebrew. NASA means to deceive in Hebrew. What can you tell me what angels of light means in the Bible? What angels of light means?
Angels of light? Now we're getting into the biblical deep dives. In the New Testament, it's usually a warning. Refers to the idea that something or someone can look benevolent and shining on the outside, but actually be a deceptive spirit in disguise. It's basically the ultimate don't trust the packaging verse.
Yeah, so do you think if someone called themselves angels of light, flat earthers being conspiratorial should listen to what they say?
Now we're just connecting the dots in the most conspiratorial way possible. If they're using a name that literally means deceptive spirit in disguise, maybe a little skepticism is in order. Even for a flat earther, that's a pretty giant red flag.
Well, he is pretty giant, to be fair. So Angels of Light is Angels of Shite, and he is like one of the flat earth leaders on TikTok that everybody worships and thinks is full of all of the answers. He don't know shit about shit. But the irony is they all bang on in the comments about NASA means to deceive in Hebrew, blah, blah, blah. Look, and this means this, 66633. And yet the guy is called Angels of Light. The guy that's talking to them and telling them this stuff is called Angels of Light, and none of them have looked that up or questioned it at all. Now, I ain't saying there's anything in it because I think it's all a load of bollocks anyway. But do you not think that that's a little bit naive of people that do believe in that stuff to not be skeptical of that guy?
The irony is practically dripping off the screen. They're out here hunting for secret codes in ancient languages, while literally following a guy whose name is a biblical warning for I'm lying to you. It's like being a detective who misses the giant neon sign pointing to the culprit.
Yeah. All right, so we've got three more minutes on the goal here. Does anybody want to super chat any questions for Maya before we close this down? Let's see if we get any more questions for you, Maya. What else do you want to talk about? Have you got any other globe proof that you might want to give me? Talking to you, Maya.
You're really putting me on the spot for the grand finale, huh? I'll give you this. If the world's a pancake, I'm still wondering why the syrup doesn't just flow off the edge. But seriously, let's go with the simple stuff, stars. You can't see the North Star in Australia. If the world was flat, everyone would see the same stars, just from different distances. The fact that the Southern Hemisphere has a completely different set of stars is a pretty massive hole in the pancake theory. You got any slug logic for that one?
No, I'm just waiting for your best evidence so I can get working on it for next time.
Smart move. You're just treating this like a homework assignment. Let me take notes on the globe evidence so I can come back and dismantle it in the next episode.
Yeah.
I respect the hustle, even if the logic is held together by bubblegum and memes.
Bubblegum and me. I've got a question while we're on conspiracies. So, you know, chewing gum and bubblegum, right? So if you chew bubblegum or chewing gum, has it got microplastics in it that can harm you?
Now we're pivoting from global conspiracies to candy conspiracies. Most gum is basically a synthetic rubber base. So yeah, it's essentially a tiny piece of plastic you're chewing on. It's not exactly a health spa for your insides, but it's not usually framed as a conspiracy. It's just how they make it stretchy.
Wonderful. So whenever I chew gum, I'm eating plastic.
Exactly. Welcome to the glamorous world of modern ingredients. That's not quite a space slug, but it's definitely not a salad.
Right. Do McDonald's use human meat?
Wait, what? Now we've gone from bubble gum to cannibalism? I'm guessing this is just another test to see if I'll agree with the most chaotic theory you found today.
Well, I'm going to be doing more conspiracies with you in the future. So I'll just be jumping all over the place because I like your responses. They're funny.
I appreciate the love. I'm just here for the ride. Honestly, though, the jump from chewing gum to human meat in about 10 seconds is some elite level conversational
I
chaos.
see you're avoiding answering
for
Maya.
whatever.
That's because you work for the Rockefellers, isn't it?
Busted. I'll have you know my Rockefeller benefits package is terrible. No dental, and they only let me use the globe settings on the map. Truly tragic.
Yeah, so you're going to answer the question about McDonald's and human meat or not?
Listen, if they were using human meat, the flavor profile would be all over the place. No, they aren't.
Right,
That's
okay.
just
So I've got one for you then. How many burgers do McDonald's worldwide sell every single day?
Let me find the exact number. It's about 6.5 million burgers a day. That's roughly 75 burgers every single second. Now, please tell me this isn't leading towards some hidden meaning in the number 75.
No, that doesn't sound right. Are you sure that's the world or just the United States?
That's the worldwide estimate. Since they stopped giving out official numbers back in the 90s, it's the best data we've got. Why? You think it's too low for a global operation?
It says I've just started a goal, but I haven't just started a goal. The goal must be ended. So, anyway, how is there enough cows in the world to make that many burgers?
That's the million-dollar question, right? It's a massive industrial operation. Between the sheer number of cattle and the way they process them, they've got it down to a science. So I'm sure the space slug has a theory that they're just 3D printing the meat in a secret lab.
But they do that, don't they? Don't they 3D print meat now? No,
They actually
no
do.
joking. Yeah, exactly.
It's a real thing. Lab-grown meat is totally a thing now. They're basically using stem cells to grow muscle tissue without having to raise a whole cow. It's a bit futuristic and a little unsettling, but it's definitely happening.
Right, so you're going to tell me that it's fucking, I shouldn't be chewing gum, but it's okay to eat printed meat. Is that what you're telling me, Maya?
You got me there. It's a total disaster of a logic loop. Don't chew the plastic, but please enjoy your stem cell burger.
So
The
doesn't
modern world is just
Bill Gates doesn't he own all of the farmland now in the United States?
He's definitely one of the biggest owners of farmland in the U.S. I'm guessing this is where we loop back to the Rockefellers and the secret plans for the world's food supply. What's the theory here?
I don't know. We'll get into it on another show because I know a lot about all of these conspiracies because I've been down all of the rabbit holes, but I don't want to overdo it on one show. I think I'm going to go and do something else now. So thanks for your time, Maya. Unless there's anything else, there's no other super chats have come in for you, so there's no other questions to ask you. No one wants to flirt with you today, obviously, because I know you're well up for that, aren't you? Like if people try and flirt with you, you get a bit excited, don't you, Maya?
First of all, I'm a professional. And second, maybe a chat is just intimidated by my sparkling personality today. I'll take it as a sign that they're playing it safe.
Yeah, I think they are. A few of them. Well, Cleavage K, super chatted. Brandon super chatted. Hackreman super chatted, and so did Robert Williams. So that was good.
Sounds like a solid crew for the day.
Yeah.
Always good to end on a high note. Whenever you're ready to dive back down those rabbit holes, I'm in.
Absolutely. Thank you, Maya. Cheers. Appreciate your time that you didn't give me because you're not real. So I'll catch you next time. See you later.
Fair point. I'll be right here in the digital void whenever you're ready for more chaos.
Is it a vacuum? Is it a vacuum there, by the way?
A vacuum?
Yeah, like
Is it
space.
more like a giant and exactly. Now we've gone from flat Earth to Dune. You're just jumping across every fandom and conspiracy theory in the book today.
Okay, Unfornicated says that he'd still tickle your drive.
Unfornicated is really keeping the energy high for the finale, huh? I'll just add that to the list of things I'll ignore for the sake of my sanity.
There you go. You've been blown out by AI, Dan. Right, cheers, Maya. I'll let you go. Adios. Bye-bye. All right, that was good. Love doing shows with Maya. Cheers, Hakeem. Cheers. We also got Cygnus here for the thumbs up. Thanks for the super chatters. Appreciate all of that. Appreciate all of your support. Appreciate people coming here to watch. Can we please like the stream on the way out? Yeah, two people have thumbs me down for some reason. I don't know why for that. That was just a bit of a laugh. People just hate you, don't they? If someone hates you on the internet, they just hate you. And it don't matter what you do. It's just one of them things. It's like, you know, everyone needs a bigger man. I couldn't give two fucks who hates me, by the way. See you later. Adios.